Hi, I'm back. How is everyone this evening? It's 7:15 here in New York, and this is Living in the Light, and I'm Mary Amy, and I'm all about shifting away darkness, guiding you to your truest potential and cracking open that beautiful glowing light in your heart. So how are you feeling? Well, I have to share with you. I'm definitely going through this cold. It's not the flu. It's nothing serious. However, I do have some sinus issues. I'm moving through it though, and I'm drinking the tea and having the chicken and enjoying being here and having gratitude for living in the light and how lucky we are that we're here. So today, December 13th, I don't know what I was going to say, December 13th, 2022. We just went through the 1212 portal. Did you receive abundance? Are you feeling as though that you're going through the gateway and you're ascending to this higher frequency? Are those around you realizing that you seem a little bit different than usual? And are you feeling the change that's coming through your system because your DNA is activating and your light codes are opening and everything within you is coming online? It's very exciting right now. And I feel it. And, I wonder, how sometimes we get little sick or colds and we're kind of releasing toxins. I'm going to say that's why I'm feeling this way. I have been exposed to some people in the public because of my job in the Matrix and family members who have also been sick, but not anything to worry about. It's just like we got to get through it and like maybe have lozenges and stuff. I don't know if you're feeling any, I don't know, symptoms of cold symptoms or flu symptoms. Anyway, moving on. Did you turn into your heart today and say, how am I feeling? How am I feeling? And why do I say that every day? Why is that so important? It's because it's about tuning into who you are. No one out here has the answers about you except you. And so we must become more aware of who we are. And then we can kind of differentiate things like what's my thought and someone else's thought. When I say, are you carrying around this sack of attachments and these belief systems? You must know on your own which is your thought and which is a thought that you were basically programmed and, consciously told and given this information since you were a little child. It's just simple stuff like, okay, we're all supposed to have a 9 to 5 job. We're all supposed to task, run, hurry, hurry, hurry. If you had a choice, would you be doing that? I wouldn't. I would wake up in the morning and I'd want to spend time in nature and have the sun beam down on me. And if it was raining, I'd be in the rain. And then I'd probably do some kind of creative endeavor. I wouldn't be going task, work, time. So that's why I say tune in, because our feelings and emotions have been compressed. We're basically opening ourselves up and realizing exactly who we are right now in this moment. And that's what's going on this planet Earth. And so we're going to get into topics today like starseed, light workers, gathering. We're all light workers and starseeds. Aren't you a starseed if you're here with me? You're one of the first time arrivals. Oh, and say hi to Elsa. She's down here. You can't see her right now, but she's down here. She always has to join us. She wants to feel as though she's part of this. She loves it. And then we're going to cover shadow work, because it's very imperative that while we're ascending and while we're coming into this new Earth Gaia, that we realize exactly what's within us. And so we're going to basically go from taking the pain and go to light. We are doing we're transmuting, and we spoke about transmutation yesterday. And it's about altering and changing a living creature, a living being. It might be an animal, a human, an extraterrestrial. And then we're going to get into UFOs. It's going to be a really exciting show today. So starseeds and light workers. Well, here's a little photo if you want to look at this. Starseeds and light workers. And I didn't forget about dreams. I'll get into that. So starseed symptoms. Are you having starseed symptoms? Because right now, those that have awakened are pretty much the first timeline arrivals. And we're here to basically help and heal and bring humanity into this new earth. And so humanity is awakening, new earth. It's another reality is forming right now. It's our thoughts. Our thoughts are bringing us into this new reality. We're shifting away all the darkness. And the veil has been removed. More light is coming onto the earth. We spoke about the solar flash and the solar flares. And these mass eruptions from the sun are bringing more light, as well as those out there that are evil, and they're saying, let's double down. And I'm going to show you a picture of one of them, because they're not so nice. One of these guys is like a reptilian. It's like, let's double down on them and make them, live without anything and be happy and eat bugs and drive an electric car and all of that stuff, and put us into some kind of experimentation camp or something, and feed us I don't know what, and have us have more GMOs. We don't need any more of that. So star seeds are here to awaken the masses and to actually be there to kind of hold their hand throughout it. Our memories are being restored. Do you feel as though that there's some kind of memory of another reality that's coming through to you? I do. I'm sensing that, and it's coming through at night when I'm having these lucid dreams. And so I'm really here to just right here. I'm here to be here for you. I'm here to tell you that you're a beautiful being of light, and you're worthy, and you're sacred. And I remind you to have that invisible line surrounding you, that no one else may come over into your space unless you give permission, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Because when we came on this earth and we were born here, we really weren't given a lot of permission. We weren't allowed to have free thought. And we were basically told what to do. And so now we must stand up for ourselves, and we must come from our root chakra and come up out and have our personal power and be as strong as we can be for ourselves, and have patience and compassion and love for ourselves. And so our memories are being restored. And maybe that's going to come through while you're sleeping. Anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. So those who first realized the illusion of the 3D linear world are the starseeds. And they came from other planets, other star systems. So they're here to help humanity through this phase of ascension to 5-dimension from the 3-dimension dense world that we've been living in. It's very heavy. Do you sense that? Do you feel as though sometimes you can't even move? Everything just feels as though it's stagnant, or it's like really hard, like you're walking through mud. It's not free. You have a lot of stresses on your body. You have a lot of responsibility and all these things that you must do. We must make all this money so we can pay our bills, so that we can eat, so that we can live, so we can pay our taxes. And that world, why should we live in this world? Who even created that world for us to live in? And so now here we are, the star seeds, and you're a star seed, and I'm a star seed, and we're light workers here. And we're all about being in love, being in peace, being in compassion. We're here. We are organic, natural beings of light. We're highly advanced, and we're sacred beings of light. And so star seeds grow new worlds from distant planets. And there's a collaboration with star families, extraterrestrials, and they say there are billions of galaxies, realms, and universes within many continuums of space-time. Star seeds like myself and you have chosen to help serve humanity during this rebirth of Earth. It's pretty exciting. So we're advanced spiritual beings who possess spiritual and scientific knowledge, and that's going to come through as you awaken. And every day you must accept it. Accept the light. Spend as much time in the sun as you can. Rest as much as you can. And you don't have to go out sharing this information with others, because I don't know if they're necessarily going to understand. Other light workers and star seeds will. Those who've awakened will. So just be wary of those out there that are in the matrix and they're very serious and they're saying this is the way it has to be. And they don't realize that there's another reality. And so maybe you are the dark horse or the black sheep of your family or your community because you don't feel as though you belong. But you do. You belong with us. You're a starseed and a light worker. And one day, those out there that were telling you, you're just a conspiracy theorist, and you were saying, no, 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 I'm a truth seeker. One day they will come to you and they will say, wait a second, what were you talking about? Can you explain that to me now? And you'll have patience and you'll send them love and you will tell them that it's all okay. So starseeds chose to help serve humanity during this rebirth of Earth, and we're advanced spiritual beings who possess spiritual and scientific knowledge, and many are benevolent, and we only want to help all living creatures. And we've been incarnated on this new Earth Gaia, traveling souls from other planets. That's what we're known as. We're traveling souls. And so starseeds are light workers for planet Earth, and they carry a multitude of wisdom and along with spiritual abilities and gifts. And we carry an activation encryptions of special codes designed to unlock our knowledge and abilities. And this is all at a predetermined spontaneous time. So it was all planned ahead of time that we were going to be here. And that's why I've spoken to you about the two timelines. And when they looked through the Stargate, the looking glass technology, those that were in power, the leaders, and maybe they were the reptilians. It was those out there that were basically trying to do us in. Maybe it was the reptilians. We're not really quite sure right now. All the truth will be revealed. Everything will be disclosed. And so those beings out there, those dark forces, decided there was two timelines. And they saw that through the looking glass technology. And one timeline was the good timeline for us. And we were going to be awakening. We were awakening and we were going to ascend. And the event was going to happen that all of everyone on the globe was going to realize that they didn't have to live in the matrix anymore. And then the other timeline was the timeline to keep us enslaved in this simulation, this illusion that we think is the only way to live. And so we came here ahead of time to actually help those out there who haven't awakened and to warn the masses. So starseeds were seeded into darker civilizations to bring wisdom and vision and creativity, and each has a mission of specific for them to carry out. And for me, I sense that my mission, or I believe my mission because I'm intuitive, and I'm going to share with you some abilities that and some signs that you would be able to distinguish whether or not you are a starseed or a light worker. And for me, my mission has been to basically come through all my traumas and to have compassion for those out there that are weaker, someone that needs help, they're vulnerable. And my mission is to do this every day. My mission is to be in the front of the line, here for you, and to say to you that I love you and you're worthy being of light. And you have many beautiful characteristics that make you perfect an imperfect being. And so that's what I'm here for. That's my mission and my purpose. And I love doing it. And that's just what's important to me. So this awakening phase on Earth, it's paving the pathway for innovative healing, creativity, and expansion. And that's what's going on right here. And that's what the starseeds and light workers like you and I are carrying out on this Earth. And we're lifting Earth's vibration. And so maybe you were placed in an area that everyone seems very dark. And they seem very sad or lonely, and maybe they have a lot of drama going on, or they're very much about low vibrational emotions like hate, anger, fear, sadness, pain. And you feel, wow, I'm placed in with all these beings that don't understand me, and there's no one that is similar to me. And that's because your vibration is high and you're here for them. You're here to basically bring the light to that space that's there. You're basically anchoring the earth like I am. And I'm on the East Coast, and it's predominantly, it's an area that is very dark, and it's very cynical, and task, 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 rush, 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 9 to 5. It's all about keeping everybody moving and distracted. And so we're lifting Earth's vibration to a higher dimension and peace on Earth, and we're bringing everyone, humanity, into the golden age. And so it's exciting. And I know it gets tiresome sometimes, and you say, when is the solar flash going to happen? When's that going to happen? And when's the event? And where's all this Christ consciousness? You have to be patient, because it's already happened in the angelic realm and the other realms, the spiritual realm, and it has to surface here and come forward and be evident in the physical reality, because it doesn't happen overnight, and our thoughts are creating this new earth. So every single time that you have a positive thought, you're bringing light onto the earth. Think of it that way. So just have patience. It's not much longer, I promise you, because I've seen visions of the solar flash and I've dreamt about them, and I've had communications with other species and beings. So what are some signs that you're a star seed? Do you know any signs of what make you a star seed or a light worker? Because here we are gathering together. I'm sure you know some already. Well, do you feel homesick because you're away from your star family? Do you have a sense of feeling like you don't belong? Have you always felt as though you just don't belong with everyone else out there, and you felt different? Well, you were different. You are different. And that's okay. We are all unique beings of light. And have you ever felt some kind of interest in watching extraterrestrial programs or shows, and you are so interested in that sci-fi, they call it, which is really reality? And also, are you more empathic? Do you have a lot more feeling going on within you than most others? Probably helps you and aids you with your clear senses and your intuitive abilities and your psychic phenomenon if you're empathic, or maybe you're a creative soul, a writer, or a performer. Do you have a feeling of being unfulfilled? These are all signs that you're a light worker or a star seed. And are you a freedom seeker? Do you want free thought, and you believe that you're a sovereign being of light? You're probably a star seed or light worker. Have you experienced a deep spirited awakening? Is your intuition strong? Are you highly creative and love to learn? Are you into holistic health? Are you an old soul? Do you seem to be able to see things that others don't? And maybe it's in the physical reality, or maybe you sense it something else, and you realize that the meaning of life, and it's not just us here. There's other beings across all the other galaxies. We're not the only living creatures. Have you realized that? And do you have an aversion to violence and harm? And are you a conspiracy theorist or a truth seeker like I am? And those might be a few of the signs that remind you that you are a starseed or a light worker. Also, did you have a very large imagination as a child, and do you daydream quite a bit? I have check, check, check across the board on most every one of these. And also, if you are someone who prefers to be a vegan or a vegetarian, that might also be a sign that you're a light worker starseed. So Humanity is awakening. So have patience. It's happening right now in this moment. And if you check out there in the physical reality, you can see some signs of it. And I've mentioned them. You know, some of these leaders, or there's some glitches out there, and they're falling down. You know, people are not really trusting them as much. The public is asking more questions, which is a good sign, because they're now traveling down the rabbit hole like you and I already have, and that's how we figured it out. And we know. So let's just realize that we have each other and be grateful for that, and know that it's only going to get easier every day. Every day past this moment is only going to be easier. Now, if you're having some trouble and you feel as though you're getting pulled back into the matrix, you know, be in this moment, remind yourself how far you've come. And it's a process when you ascend. You know, we have so much light coming into our systems, we really don't even realize how much is changing within our DNA. And we also are feeling as though we've kind of lost our old identity. And I'm sensing myself, I question, and I'm going back and forth between the old Mary and the new version of me. And I'm not quite there yet, because I see some of the future and I see some possibilities, but I haven't received them yet. And I guess I have to catch up. You know, everything kind of has to all have alignment eventually. So share in the chat any kind of experiences that you're having, and tell me where you're coming from. And I apologize. I have a cold that I'm kind of getting through right now. If I sound congested, I am. Well, I'd like to get on to shadow work. And what exactly is shadow work? Well, when we're ascending and when we're awakening, and maybe it's not even those of you out there who have awakened yet, hopefully you have. Maybe you spent time in nature, or you've gone out to a sunrise, or you've had a mystical experience, you've asked, you know, divine energies to come into your life, whatever it may be. We all have within us pain, and we couldn't have gotten this far without accumulating some pain here, living in this matrix, in this linear world. And so there's the darker half of you, which is your shadow side. And as you're going through all these portals of light, you know, yesterday was the 12-12 portal. As you're going through all these pathways, and new light is coming into your system, and you're raising your vibration, and you're living in more love, you're going to come face to face with your darker half. And they say it's called dark night of the soul. But you can also call it shadow work. And we are going to free ourselves of our shadows. And we're going to basically transmute, and we're going to alter and change ourselves. And you're going to be working with your unconscious mind to uncover parts of yourself that you've repressed or hidden from yourself. In other words, we have shame within us. And that came through because when we were younger, we were told this, you know, this part of you I like, and this part of you I don't like. And it probably came through with those who raised you, or maybe it came through in your education during school, or maybe in your friends, your community, maybe the neighborhood kids. You know, there's some negative opinions we have about ourselves that have stuck onto us and haven't left us. And they've been there for so long that they've become the shadow part of us. And so you might have aspects of you that you like to keep hidden. And we're going to get through our hidden parts of ourselves, and we're going to accept ourselves, because we are beautiful beings of light. Now, you might have been repressing these aspects of yourself and hidden from yourself, and it might feel as though it's traumatic, it's undesirable. subconsciously you don't want to, it's something subconsciously that you're carrying around that you don't want to delve into because it's got pain attached to it. And so we must basically embrace all of ourselves and love all of ourselves, even the darker half of ourselves, because the more that we can accept darkness, then the more light we will allow into our systems, because there has to be a duality. It has to all come together because you're basically taking pieces of your soul off from you. And you want to put your soul all back together. And as we go through all of these issues, and you're going to be dealing with it as you've awakened, because you're going to have to look at it. And maybe it's going to come through with your twin flame if you meet up with your twin flame. Now that we've hit the 1212 portal, it's common for us to find our twin flames. And your twin flame is going to challenge you. And you're going to see aspects of yourself that you really don't want to. And you're not going to be able to leave your twin flame. So you're going to have to get through it. You're going to have to go through it. Go to the other side. And I'm going to share with you, it's worth it. It's not fun, but it's totally worth it. So your shadow self is parts of your psyche that are kept hidden. So simply we have been afraid of ourselves, and we all have light and dark aspects of ourselves. So our wholeness as a child was short-lived. When we were born, we realized, oh, it's so beautiful here. It's so lovely. And then we were criticized and we were told, I don't really like that side of you. And maybe you got into a mood. Maybe you had a temper tantrum. Maybe you cried a lot. And whatever it was, there were parts of you that you pushed away. And then you magnified the parts of you that were told were great, that were good. And so there's parts of you that have been kept hidden. And all of you is great. So we've hidden ourselves and we felt rejected, we felt criticized, and we were suppressed aspects that were disapproved of. And we exaggerated the aspects that were approved. So the shadow grows every time you repress. It's like you give it more and more power. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And so I would like to share with you that we can accept all of ourselves and we can love ourselves. And I'm just trying to find something to show you that is positive, because I just want to share, maybe an angel's very positive, and that will help you to have more faith and more divine light around you. So the conscious mind is sharing light. The subconscious mind is the shadow. So everything we reject about ourselves, the bad you, it affects everything we do. So self-awareness, self-acceptance, and compassion and confidence is what will bring all of your shadow forward. If you start to believe in yourself more and more and accept yourself. So let's ask objective questions about old beliefs and old stories that were told to you about yourself. For example, when I was little, I was made fun of because I was small. And so that I carried something about that with me. And so that affected me, and also my voice problem. So I had some issues that were lingering for a long time. And I had to look at myself and realize things about myself. And those were old beliefs and old stories. And there was many of them. I wasn't enough, basically. I wasn't good enough is probably one of the old beliefs. And I could cry even saying that. So I guess I'm not through that. And I don't know what yours is. You're going to have your own old stories that were told to you about you. And we must get through these and realize that we are beautiful beings of light, and to connect with our subconscious, our shadow work, that is the repressed aspects of you, the darker side of you that you're not sharing. You must begin to accept all of you and allow all of you to come out, come forward. And maybe you were told, Maybe one of the old stories that you were told as a child, and old beliefs systems that you were believing about yourself, or maybe you were just too loud or too quiet or too something, and you were not appreciated for being who you are. So let's get through our shadow work. Let's ask ourselves objectively, now that we're adults, about ourselves and release that, embrace it, and know that you're worthy as is. You're a lovable being as is. So anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Today we're covering Starseeds, Lightworkers Gathering, Shadow Work, and UFOs. And it's not going to be very long today because I am sick. And I think I need to eat more food and go to sleep. Are you feeling any kind of illness? Do you have any flu symptoms or cold symptoms? I do. Have we activated our third eye? Have we taken a gemstone and put it on the space between our two eyebrows and asked for our third eye to be activated? Or have we had a view? Have we visualized white light hitting this spot right here to activate our third eye? Because we all would like to have light come into our systems more and more, and we're ascending to a higher consciousness. So let's get on to UFOs. Okay, before, I just want to show you some actual, you know what? I'll wait till when we're doing the UFOs. So UFOs. So UFOs are unidentified flying objects, and objects in our atmosphere and that are not explained. We can't explain them through science. There's what's called a ufologist, and they study UFOs and they believe in UFOs, that they exist. There are claims that UFOs are evidence of extraterrestrials and intelligent life other than the Earth inhabitants. And there's been sightings and encounters, and frequently across the globe, we've seen for hundreds of years, there's been visions out there of flying saucers that usually are spherical in shape. You know, we know about the Roswell crash and reverse alien technology. There's been some sightings, and they've called it out in some of the arms of the military, and they've admitted there's UFOs. But I believe they're saying that because they have their own secret space program and black projects, and they've created, from reverse to alien technology, black triangles and tic-tac ships. Those aren't alien UFOs. Those are man-made. Those are artificial. We're talking about real live UFOs. And they're out there, the UFOs. They're definitely out there. Here's one. Here's a picture of one. And so the sightings are frequent across the globe. And some believe extraterrestrials traveled here long ago and battled for power here on Earth. And they've lived here among us. So people have observed UFOs in the sky, sightings, encounters. There's been religious and medieval paintings that have had some UFOs and some extraterrestrial inhabitants in the paintings. And they've contained circular spaced UFOs. And there have also been symbolic characters in these paintings, these medieval paintings. Now, I know I've heard personally of motherships that are basically cloaked underneath clouds. Have you heard of that? And in the summertime, you might see these very odd-shaped clouds that are covering a mothership. I can only imagine how big a mothership is. And cloud just seems to disperse, and then there's nothing there. So motherships are beyond the clouds, watching over Earth's inhabitants, waiting to be seen for what they are as soon as that we all awaken to this other reality and realize that there's other beings out there And so here we are. Here's like maybe first contact. Has it already occurred? I'm not quite sure. So, the extraterrestrials and the UFOs are very cautious before exhibiting anything outside of our belief systems until more of us are awakened. They're concerned that there might be some hostile activity if they show themselves. They're benevolent. Most of these extraterrestrials are benevolent. And so some of these extraterrestrials maybe you've met some of these. Here's some Andromedans, and they come from Andromeda. The Palladians from Pleiades, and they're Scandinavian looking, and they are soul healers, and they have pale eyes and light skin, and they're fair hair, and they carry a strong frequency. There's many types of extraterrestrial races that are beyond our galaxy. And these extraterrestrials and these UFOs will not have full disclosure and be seen and land here until more have awakened and evil is gone. There are mystery airship reports across the US and other continents. Very frequently, there's reports of strange ships, lights in the sky. Now, there's been some famous alien abductions, which have brought fear into many. Here's this looks like a gray alien. And, we were raised that these aliens were very deceitful and dangerous and hostile, and they were going to hurt us. And I believe, some of these extraterrestrials probably are, like we've mentioned the reptilians and the draconians in the past. But I would have to say that most of them are not. Now, there was the story of Betty and Barney Hill, the abduction of Betty and Barney Hill. And they were experimented on by the Greys, and the Greys were known to abduct. Now, we don't know if any of that is real. There's been some debunking. However, Betty and Barney Hill went on to write some books, and they professed that this was the truth. There was other extraterrestrial and UFO sightings and encounters, and you can go to MUFON if you were interested in seeing. Daily, there's postings and there's videos across the globe. All over the world, they're posting on MUFON any UFOs that they see. I mean, we can sit here and we can say, oh, that's impossible, or we can have an open mind. Now, I know here's what's called a Palladian, a Nordic alien. They're known to be 6 to 7 feet tall with blonde hair and blue eyes. But they're all pretty benevolent. They're here to protect humanity. They're not here to harm us. Here's a similar looking gray alien. So the government knows of the UFOs, but refuses to disclose the truth in fear they will lose credibility and power. Now the Greys, there's the Greys, the White Nordics, the Reptilians, the Draconians, the Palladians, the Andromedans. There's many types of aliens. This looks like an alien autopsy. And you can easily find videos and information about aliens across, here's a reptilian. Look at that. That's kind of scary looking, isn't it? And do they look like that? Have you had any communications with extraterrestrials, or have you seen any UFOs? Mostly, I would have to say that I have a handful of people that I know that have had some kind of UFO experience where they've seen a UFO, and maybe it was close, within, 200 feet, or maybe far high up into the sky. They claim that they've seen a UFO, and it is possible. Anything is possible. And I would love anyone to share in the chat today. It's very quiet tonight. And also share where you're coming from. I'm Mary Amy, and I'm living in the light. And oh wait, here's a unidentified. Oh, here's another picture. Here's a UFO. This looks like something that we've seen maybe in the movies. An electromagnetic field of properly of space caused by motion of. So they said way back when they had us very fearful of having any kind of UFO encounter because the radiation would kill us. They said between 3 and 5 years or we'd be burned. And I don't know if that's accurate. If a UFO came down, I would definitely hop aboard and say, let's go. Here's one of the government's UFOs that they've made, a black triangle. And this goes underwater, and it has propulsion underwater. It flies, and it also goes underwater as well. I don't know if you've heard of that before. Okay, well, let's move on to psychic phenomenon. And I just want to mention angels before we do that. I know it's a short show tonight because I'm not feeling well. And these angels are here, and they look like it's a vision that she's receiving. So angels are celestial beings coming from the heavens to earth. They descend on a staircase and ascend. And if you ask for angels to come into your physical reality, to come into your presence, they will. It's said that there is tens of thousands upon millions of angels that travel from the heavens to earth to protect humanity. And if you've had a near-death experience, an NDE, you might have seen the light, and an angel might have come to you to take you to where your next reality, your next realm that you are headed to. And they say as we are raising our vibration and we're going into the light, when we reach the light, and all of us, our whole entire being, our mind, body, soul, every aspect of us, our emotional, physical, mental, and spiritual being within us will be in the light, and we will see ascended masters and those who have passed and angelic beings in the physical reality. And this looks like tens of thousands upon millions. And I believe that that's divine energies. There's divine events that are occurring right now. We are in a place, we are in a state of miracles. God is guiding and the angels to protect us, and they're messengers and warriors. And there's archangels out there that are here for us. There's 9 ranks of angels. I'm really going on about angels tonight, aren't I? I don't know why. I just follow my intuition. And so these angels, the seraphim, cherubim, thrones, dominions, powers, and they're all the closest reaching to God. So seraphim is the closest to God, and the one that's closest to us are guardian angels, and then archangels. And then there's principalities. So angels are known in fine arts to have wings and halos. They're basically beings of light. Let's get into psychic phenomenon because I really need to eat some dinner and go to bed. So I hope all of you out there, I really am glad and grateful for all of you out there. And I just want to share with you, I'll be back again tomorrow. Like I've shared that I'm going to do Monday through Thursday because Friday just gets so complicated because of my matrix job. If I didn't have the matrix job, I could go back to my 11 o'clock in the morning. And you know what? Everything happens for a reason. I fully believe that. So your psychic phenomenon, what is that? Well, each of us within us have always had abilities. We all have our intuition. It's like when something scary or harmful happens, you can't operate with your mental, your thinking. You must follow your intuition. Your intuition carries out whatever is going to save you from dire situations. It's like you move into that. You don't have time to think. You just move into it, you know? And so our intuition is very valuable. And the more that we tune into, that is why I say to you, tune into your feelings, tune into your heart, listen as much as you can beyond the walls of the room. Turn off technology. Drop into your senses. The answers lie within you. And the more that you become awakened, the more that you're ascending, the more that your vibration is raising to a higher consciousness, a higher awareness, you're expanding your mind, you're becoming more compassionate, more loving, more forgiving, more patient. The more that that happens, then the more of your intuition will come available to you. Now, your light codes are being activated, and without even trying, you're going to receive information. And maybe it's going to be while you're sleeping. You'll have these epiphanies all night long. You'll feel as though that you're basically battling when you're sleeping, and you wake up and you'll say, "What was that?" You won't have any recollection. It's because you are morphing. You are transmuting into another version of you. You are becoming this highly advanced being of light. It's not anything you can even imagine. I've sensed and I've had some kind of visions, and I've heard some of it while I'm sleeping, when I'm having lucid dreams, when I'm half awake, half asleep, and even while I'm fully awake. And my mind I can't wrap my brain around it. It's so incredible. So be prepared. So our intuition is very valuable. You've always had it. You're just uncovering it and you're accepting it. So you will have a knowing. You will receive information from other sources. It will come on a daily basis. You will begin to have synchronicity throughout your day. It will seem as though things were planned. It's just that you knew it was going to happen. It's not a coincidence. It's meant to be. So be aware of that. So we are going to tune into more and more of our abilities. We're going to become more and more familiar with ourselves, our personality, and we're going to love ourselves just a little bit more every single day. So we want to eliminate any critical thinking or any reasoning, because that's not helping us while we do these exercises. So let's do one of these exercises together. And it's very simple. And it's just something, it's a way for you to basically, practice this muscle that you have. It's like anything else. If you do exercise, you're building up your muscle, you're building up your intuitive muscle, you're building up your psychic phenomenon muscle. That's all you're doing. It just takes a few moments and you think, oh, it's not making a difference. But it is making a difference. It's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. I mean, unless you're naturally empathic, or you're already a psychic, or you're already an intuitive, or you just have that running through your family. So it was generous to you, and you always accepted it. Those that are out there that I've met who say, well, I always was a psychic. Most of the time they say that one of their family members was, and then they say that it was accepted. And that's why they allowed themselves to be a psychic or an intuitive. We aren't naturally wanting to do this because it sounds a little bit crazy. People say, oh, you're really a psychic? Ha ha ha. What do you have? A crystal ball? But we all have this ability. So let's relax. Okay, we're going to do an exercise together. We're going to close our eyes. We're going to relax our body. We're going to feel like a rag doll. Do you feel like a rag doll? And maybe you're going to let go of any tension inside your body. And you are going to release any kind of doubt that you can do this. And you're going to drop down. You're going to let out a breath. If you have to speak it out. So you're just relaxing and you're letting go of any thoughts before this moment. In fact, you're not even thinking. So you're dropping down. And now I'd like you to let go of any doubt. Surrender to your senses. So you're dropping into your senses. You're going to make contact. You're going to make contact with your hearing, with your smell, with your taste, with your third eye, with your sense of touch. Put your hands out there. What are you feeling? Do you feel any vibrations on your hands? Do you feel frequencies running by you? There's so much more in the physical reality than we can see. Our eyes can only see 1% of what's going on. Okay. And what are you feeling? All right. So we're making physical contact. We are having concentration and focus. And so remind yourself which of your senses is the strongest, and we're going to tune into that sense. For me, it's my hearing and my third eye. When my eyes are closed, it's my hearing and my feeling. And you might also have claircognizance, which is your knowing. You just know. All right, so we're dropping down, we're letting out a breath, we're making physical contact, and you're going to pick one of your senses, and I'm going to give you a suggestion. So what I'm suggesting that you tune into the last time that you felt love, and that moment, and what was the experience, and what did you hear, or what did you feel, or what did you see, whatever it is. So it's the last time that you felt love. So for me, I'm listening. I'm using my clairaudience, so I'm listening. I'm giving that suggestion. I'm only going into my senses. I'm pushing away any thoughts, and I'm tuning into what I heard. Now, if that doesn't work for you, and whichever sense that you're tuning into, you're not receiving any impressions. You're not hearing anything. You're not seeing anything. There's nothing flashing. Hey, John Cooper, if you can't remember the last time you felt love. Okay, the last time, John Cooper, you're coming from Iowa. If you can't remember the last time you felt love. Well, I'm sad to hear that. Okay, so then how about you're going to project, what you're going to do is, John Cooper, you're going to move to tomorrow, December 14th, and you're going to experience love. So where is this? What are you feeling? So you're going to predict it and manifest it. How about that? And I'm sharing this with you because we did it last week, and then I woke up feeling joy. So you can actually create it within you. So if you know what the feeling of love is, then you can create it in the future. Okay, so now I'm going to go back. So I dropped down. I felt like a rag doll. I let out a breath. I dropped down into my senses. I released any doubt. And I made physical contact with my sense of hearing. Sending love now, John. Oh, we love you, John Cooper. We're sending you love. That was beautiful music. Thanks for saying that. Yes, John Cooper, we're sending you love. Thanks for saying that. That was beautiful. We're sending you love, John Cooper. Okay, so I'm dropping down. And the last time that you felt love. Okay, so for me, I tried doing with the hearing and it didn't work. I tried to connect to the last time I experienced love. And I didn't receive any information. So I went to my heart, and then I actually felt it. And then I saw the love. I saw where the love was coming from. And I became more aware of what it was. And so I tuned into the other person and I saw their face. So this is a way of actually becoming more aware of ourselves and others and what really makes us tick, I guess you could say. And it's also a way of actually manifesting more of it. Just like when I say to you, come up with your own nature scene that makes you feel joy, and you're visualizing it, and then you go to it when you're having a tough time. And that's how you're going to manifest joy in the future. You're just going to imagine this nature scene. It's the same kind of technique. All right, John Cooper. Well, thank you, music. You're awesome. So I'm rubbing my hands together. We're going to do the ball of light, and then I'm going to go because I'm suffering through this cold, and I need to get some food in my system and go to sleep. So I take the ball of light away from me because we are bringing light onto the earth. We're light workers and we're star seeds, and we got into that this morning, earlier. See how I'm talking? Humanity is awakening to new earth, and new reality is forming, and our memories are being restored, and we are beings of light. We're light workers. We also spoke about shadow work and UFOs. So we're taking the ball of light away from us. We're rubbing our hands together, and hopefully, if we haven't taken any kind of medication, like I didn't take any Advil or anything for my cold, maybe I will before I go to sleep so I can sleep through the night. But if you do take a pain reliever or some kind of medication, you might not feel the vibration on your palms of your hand. But take heart. It's still something's still going on. It might seem as though nothing's changing, but it is. I promise you. Just have hope. And as I say, light on the horizon. Good things are coming beyond your view. A difficult situation will improve. It's good luck. So I'm bringing light here into the earth on this physical reality. And I'm having concentration and focus. And so we have our ball of light. And this ball of light is powerful. It can serve as a teleportation device. It can serve as remote viewing. It can bring energy to another place. It can remind ourselves of who we are because we're seeing others. So let's imagine that. Anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so we have the ball of light, and I'm going to say drop down. I'm going to say let go of any tension in your body. Release any doubt that you can do this. And drop down into your senses. So I'm going to choose my clairvoyant sense, which is my third eye, to see what's going on. And so I'm just going to simply say today, because I'm not going to try to make it too complicated. I'm going to just see what's in my third eye with my ball of light. What am I seeing? I saw a bowling alley in my third eye. A bowling alley. That's new. There's a cow. What else? A sun. I see a sun, a bright sun. Interesting. Let's see. There's a blue sky. There's water. And then I see an angel. I see an angel before me. It's not on the right. It's just right in front of me. Now, this visual that I'm seeing is very clear. I've never seen my third eye this clear, I have to tell you. It's almost like it's a vivid picture. I wonder why that is. It's not foggy anymore. So I see water. I see the horizon. I see light on the horizon. And I see a little boat, a little rowboat in the water. And someone's paddling in the rowboat. So this angel is just looking at me. Wonder what this angel is going to say. Altogether sounds like a great Sunday afternoon. Altogether, What does that mean? All together, it sounds like a great Sunday afternoon. We're all together. So this angel is just right there. I think this angel is a symbol for me. This angel is basically communicating that I'm doing what I should be doing, which is going to make me cry, that I'm doing the right thing. It's so vivid. Okay, so I'm going to put my hands together. All together sounds like a great Sunday afternoon, especially the bowling and the cow. Oh, I see. Well, thanks for sharing that, John Cooper. You're becoming a regular, and I appreciate that. It's a quiet Tuesday evening in the Matrix, I guess. People are busy doing other things than coming on this video. But that's okay, because I'm going to stay, I'm going to continue to be here every single day, because it's just what I'm supposed to be doing. This is my mission. So I'm spinning light, and you're in the middle of it. And don't forget to practice some of your telepathy on your own. Maybe do some mind to mind. And we're going to get into some new exercises soon. In the next day or two, I'm going to plan some new exercises that I'm going to give you some information about. So all thoughts are a vibration, and we can receive thought waves, telepathic messages. Okay, so I'm spinning light, and you're at the center of it, and you're making a wish. Everyone have a wonderful evening. I'm sending you light and love, and everyone be well. I'll be back again tomorrow at 7, and I hope that you have blessings and good luck and good fortune. Be well. Bye.